All right, y'all. So I have to start by saying I'm not a financial advisor and no one in this video is going to be a financial advisor, but this is actually some footage from our private group. These will not be posted on YouTube too often at all. This is just strictly content for the private group, but I feel like this in particular, this topic that we're covering here, it can set some realistic expectations and stuff for what you can expect in the short term, because I get so many questions about it throughout the day. So yeah, this is a little bit of a sneak peek inside of the private group. This I feel like is going to be very valuable for the community, and obviously all of this wouldn't be possible without the people here on the YouTube channel, of course. So yeah, just wanted to show some love and thank you all for all the constant love and support. Hopefully you enjoy. Be sure to recommend me some content down below that you all would like to see me talk on a little bit more, just for the YouTube channel as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Just wanted to let you all know, not financial advice, all entertainment. Be sure to drop a thumbs up, subscribe, turn on notifications so you stay updated. And yeah, hope you enjoy.
I'm with my game, yeah, family friendly. I play the game, yeah, and touch the melody.
Get your exclusive Ecomi, VeVe, and Omi merch at CavellAnderson.com. Limited edition 100 items drop while supplies last.
They got 'em dizzy. We pass the moon, yo. You gon' keep winning. Red dreams come true. For me and you. Ecomi did it, yeah, with the crew.
What I really was interested in is your perspective on the Omi token. You obviously you have a different perspective than me on a lot of these things, because you do go based off the charts and your experience there when it comes down to the technical analysis aspects, and you base your information off of things that's currently provable as opposed to stuff that's promised but not necessarily here. So I just wanted to know your thoughts and opinions of the Omi token. You trading right now? You like what's going on with it?
All right. Well, first thing, my name is Jason. When I talk about anything, I'm really confident what I'm doing with my charting and trading, but it just didn't happen overnight. It took years to get to this point. So when I speak, it's not that I'm the best or anything like that. It's just I'm confident in what I see. So there's always somebody better than me and whatnot. I just figure I'd like to help share some experiences and some things I see, and hopefully I can share my perspective, and then others can be comfortable enough to join in and chart, and that's how you learn. That's how you trade. It's by posting charts and speaking what you see in the chart, and have somebody either correct it or say, I agree with you. And then it helps you to trust yourself more when it comes to trading. I believe that helps. So
yeah, you're right.
So that's what I'm thinking. Just want to try to help the community out. In the background, I've been here. I'm gonna post my chart here real quick, and I'll just tell you my experience this year. Just show you what I did. First, I'll give you my story how I got into Omi, and then we'll get into the trading. I've been in Bitcoin a long time. Long story short, I sold like 1,000 Bitcoin back when it was 160 bucks, and not that it was a good deal, but in those days, it was tough to find somebody to actually cash it in. So when I had an opportunity, I did. It had nothing to do with the price.
You tuning in?
What happened? All right. So anyways, my story is I've been in Bitcoin a long time. So I've experienced the last market cycle. I kind of got a good idea what happens in these cycles. In the beginning of the year, like you got all the different coins. You got like Bitcoin, Ethereum, then you got the layer ones, and you got the NFTs, and then you got the DeFi. And if you take notice, generally the money just goes in rotation from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next. So you put them in those categories and groups. And I think early in the year, I saw, what was it? It was either Chili's or a couple of NFT projects popped off. So I was like, let me find an NFT project that didn't go up yet. And I found Omi in February. And I started researching it, and I'm like, wow, why is nobody talking about this coin? Like, I was like, I don't care, I'm in. So I accumulated a lot right here, like before March. And after it pumped, I sold up here, like a portion. And when we broke, let's see. When we broke like this trend right here, there's like a little trend line right there. I sold everything off because we pumped way too hard, too fast. Whatever goes up that fast comes back down. So it's not It's not natural. So I was fortunate enough, and I sold everything there, and I planned on buying back here at this level around 0.3, 4, 5, or whatever. So I started buying here back in May. I bought a little early because I was excited about the coin. I didn't think it was going to make it all the way back to this level. Here, let me throw up some SR real quick.
Yeah, I've done the same thing. It drops so low.
I started buying a little early here because we got this bounce right here.
Exactly.
I basically thought we were going to take off again. So I bought some more. So then it came down. Well, now I'm under. It started going under my price. So I bought some more here. I went down some more. I bought some more. Well, now I'm actually was down like 30% on an awful lot of money. And when we got about here, and I expected a double bottom off of this to come here. And I basically loaded up with everything I could to bring down my average price to the actual price of Omi. And I think my average price was like around 0.002. And on this pump, we had a nice gain, about 230%. I sold everything. And I was happy because I wanted to get out because I had too much invested that I didn't really want. And the only reason I did that was because I was able to. And I said, all right. And I started accumulating again here, all the way up this ride. And that's that. And basically all the money I made is how I bought everything on VeVe. And I started getting addicted to buying everything. And
Who don't?
and it goes from there, basically. Right now, I'm just trying to stay balanced between what's in the app and then I wish we were at MTL already so I could have cashed out and bought more Omi, but that's not the case. So it is what it is.
It's coming.
It's coming. Well, I still have a little bit dry powder because I'm waiting.
Yeah, winter.
My entry's down here, so I have price is pretty good and far enough away from me. I can take a little drawdown on the price.
Your entry is pretty low. I was thinking more about 0.055, like you said, and we talked about it in the past.
Yeah, I was buying alt when it came back down here. I started buying back in again. I bought in here, and that made another purchase here. So my average is it's like 30.38, something like that. Somewhere's in this area. I just sold some when we go on this double top here because price action looked weak, and I wanted to take some profit to possibly buy in lower. But I basically, how do I say, I have a portion that I don't touch where I'm not selling because I'm okay holding it, and I trade with a small portion. And I'm not saying for anybody to trade with a small portion. It's just what I'm doing. But I believe Omi is probably like one of the safest coins you could ever be in. And out of ever, I think it's one of the only coins in crypto that actually can bring in mass adoption, like mass users from people that are not in crypto. I don't see any other coin actually doing that.
And I think that this is massive coming from, because obviously I know most of you here probably don't believe that, but I'm called a moon boy because of my predictions and the way that I go to my conclusions. So from people who dive deep into the charts, do the technical analysis, and they actually study this with the logic that's much more respected, I feel like it's huge hearing the same conclusions and something so massive coming from someone as accomplished as Jay.
Well, one of the main reasons I started jumping in. I mean, I'm in other groups. I'm doing other things, trading. I'm not too able to be in the community too much, but I figured I'd try because I see what's going on here, and I would like people to realize like this could take some time. Like all those prices will get hit in time, but right now, like you got to have expectations. Like keep your expectations low, and really don't invest more than like I would have a 3 to 5 year outlook. Like I'm not giving financial advice. I'm just giving experience, because if you invest more than you can do without, I mean, if you invest more that you may need and you sell it, and in 3 to 5 years you see the price where this thing goes, you're not going to be happy. So only invest what you're willing not to touch. Like if you're not trading, you just want to invest in this coin, to have a chance to buy something under a penny. Like you don't know how. That's just not. This stuff doesn't happen. It's actually a solid project in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, I love this. I love this project. I don't marry any coin. I trade them and take the money and run. But this coin, I'm gonna retire off of this thing. I already. All right, that's how I feel.
Don't know if you allow me to ask some question because I'm doing some charts
Yeah, same
very
here.
often, but I'm not. Uh, Cavell, I know I love him. He's awesome to me. Uh, but the $10 prediction is not to me like, oh, that's so crazy. But I don't see it when I'm doing my chart. You know, I'm doing my
Well,
chart and I'm
well,
looking far away in
there,
the future, and I'm
there.
like, $10. It's gonna be hard from a chart standpoint. I'm not talking when I'm doing chart. I'm putting everything aside to look at the chart. You know,
That's
and
how you do it.
yeah, yeah, you got to keep news in perspective, you know, but you can't do your chart while thinking, oh, it's gonna explode. No, you can't do that.
Well,
So, this is why I'm like, are you uh going
now,
as near as $10 as Cavell is going in
no.
the same amount of time?
Well, to me, it doesn't make any sense to project something that far away because we don't know what's going to happen between now and then. Uh, I like to compare it to other things in the past. So I'm going to show this chart a little bit, and then I'm going to show you a couple coins to show you what I think it can do. To keep everything in perspective, because the biggest thing in trading for me, the hardest thing for me, was to understand what they call scaling. Scaling is the amount of time it takes for a move to start and complete. So for me, that was the hardest thing to understand in trading, the amount of time it could take.
I think
Now,
Excuse me.
but I think that in the same time, we could have done some future prediction with the Bitcoin. If you look at the chart from the past, you could put a trend line. It's
oh
following
yeah,
the trend line
yes.
so perfectly that I think it might be the same for many coin. I'm not saying it's gonna be the same for Omi because I know that's other coin probably like some of you're gonna show like Dogecoin or anything
No.
got explosive chart or anything, and I think it could be possible, but
Well, here I was gonna. I want here. I talk better when I can show the charts. I don't want to cut you off. We finished or no?
yeah, I finished. This is what I was about to say. I'm gonna shut
Yeah.
up. Somebody else question too. So
No. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you what I think realistically. I'm going to go with realistic without news, without anything, because when you trade and chart, news is noise. News is only noise. Look, we got Disney and we sold off. That's a perfect example. So you got to block out the news because the charts predict the news. That's usually generally the rule of thumb. Yes, we can get something crazy can happen and change the world, and oh yeah, we go up, but that's far and few between. So I got to stick it to how I'm programmed. Here, I'm gonna pop some fibs up here. Let me turn this off for a second. Let me clean this up.
yeah,
We'll take this off. All right. First off, we're in this ascending triangle. Okay. We have a trend line support here holding us. We got a nice trend line down here in case we drop out the catch. So I'm looking at that right now. To me, Bitcoin looks weak right now. We're going to go, I believe we're going to go sideways and down for at least for another week because we're at the end of the month and that's generally how it goes. Here, let me show you this here real quick. Let me get this off. Boom. Here, this is the main thing here.
this might be hard to understand for those who don't do chart, but
here, I'm going to try to make this simple.
Yeah.
We're making a giant U. Doesn't mean we're going to follow this line the whole way, but this is what a coin needs to do to actually build what they call a base. Okay, so all this area needs to get filled up with price action. Okay, so once we need to break this all-time high up here, whatever this is, right here, where are we at? Whatever, generally that area. Once we break that area, like some of the old-time traders, they call building a base to go to outer space, because that's really all it's doing. We're just building a base, and we're going to go to outer space. That's usually how it goes. And then we go off these Fibonacci lines, because that's all we have. Once we go into what they call price discovery, once we go above this line here, is what they call price discovery. So there's only thing to base this off of is what they call Fibonacci. So I'm going to back this out into a higher time frame with a daily. So we get some realistic targets here. So for me,
That's
all right.
exactly where I'm going with my prediction, around the 0.03.
So in these coins, the most we ever get out of them generally is all the way up here at the 4.618. That's like the most you can ask out of one of these coins. I mean, that's like the absolute top. Okay, I'm not saying we can't go by there, but every one of these levels, when we get into price action, once we get in price discovery, we're going to hit these levels and the bots are going to sell.
Yeah.
We may go right through it. We may have to, retrace a little bit. And as price comes down, we have more to work with, so we can chart from there. But prior to us going up here, we have nothing to go off but these Fibonacci levels. And a general rule of thumb, this is about the most you can ask for a coin. So between 5 and 6 cents on this particular pump or cycle, whatever we get, is like for this run. That's my conservative, like not conservative. That's like the most I think we can get out of this run.
So you don't mean that for the years, you mean once we finish the total trampoline.
From this cycle.
Phase. Yeah, from this cycle, you mean?
Right, because we're at the end of this cycle. I don't care what many people say. We're at the end. I mean, there's a couple different theories.
Yeah.
The major cycle is, all right, if we're following 2013 exactly, we're done at the end of November. All right. So now if we're following 2017, we're done at the end of December. But we could be going into what they call an extended cycle, because every cycle has extended a little bit longer each time. So we could actually go into the first and second quarter of next year easily, and that would be better for us and for Omi, because it would give it more time to do its thing. That's from my perspective. And conservatively, I mean, the most you can ask about from this is right here, 0.5, 0.05, 0.06.
So is that your total price prediction of where you think Omi is capable of going overall? Or
no,
that's this year, this cycle.
For this particular cycle.
Okay, so where do you see the?
But I'm not. But listen, that's only because I have no price action to work off of.
For later.
Like, something different could happen. We come down here, we could do like a nice double bottom and then go some more, and then from there, you're talking like 10 to 15 cents, like around 10 cents. That's going to be psychological number. The next psychological number is going to be like 25 cents, way up here.
Yeah, doing this with every coin.
Right. So it's hard to predict. I mean, yeah, here, I'm going to show you another coin here just to give you an idea. Let me get this here. So yeah, I'm basically saying for this cycle. I mean, you want to talk 10 years out? I don't know what's going to happen. We don't know. It could be $100. We don't know. Because once we break like $1, like $3 and $7 isn't far away. It comes really fast. So the main thing is
gonna need to burn, and I'm pretty sure we are gonna burn a lot of Omi, but I think we're gonna need to burn to pass over the dollar mark. After that, I think you're right.
Yeah, we're gonna do.
I hope we're gonna burn like 100 billion.
Yeah.
Like in the years to come or 2 years to come. To
How do
me, it
you
will
all
be
feel about that? The new news of having more token utility coming from other projects and not just Omi being strictly a VeVe burned on VeVe.
gonna shut up on this.
Um,
Thinking too-
we can't really expect that because nothing's in stone. You know, we can't. That's not the. We're investing here. We got to think about what's the facts in front of us. Like they gave us the master collector program, then they changed it. So we need what's in front of us to actually go off of and start doing calculations. From my opinion, like everything else is just talk until it happens.
Yeah, I think
But
that's like the biggest difference in like my opinion from a lot of different people's. I definitely understand what everybody's saying, but my predictions usually come from if we're in a perfect world, as opposed to, I guess, the more realistic predictions are this is what we have, this is where we could go based on what we have. So I think we all pretty much see the same thing, but yeah, like I said, mine is just, I guess that is kind of a moon boy if you consider the fact that okay, this is where we can go if everything goes perfect. But yeah,
I want to show this coin here. This is Engine. Okay, I'm trying to give the scaling effect here. Okay, so this was prior. Like this, look how this coin was like had everything going for it back here from 2019 all the way here. It's like it was, what was it here? I just went through like some sort of measurement. Like you see what Omi's doing? Omi's doing something like this right now. We might be coming down and make another double. Like I'm not saying it's going to go like this, but look how much time this took.
It might be doing a double cup like
pattern. Yeah, like this took, just for this part, took almost 2 years. You know, so it's just under 2 years. So now, Engine had the luxury to come out in the bull market, and from that point, this is why I want you to see. People are crazy if they don't take profits. Cause look, we go up here.
Yeah, and we fall.
Look, we made 20% or 20 times your money. You really want to ride that sucker down? 100% or whatever it is, 80%, and leave those gains to somebody else? I'm not. So that's why I say that I have a portion that I hold forever. We call it a moon bag. The moon bag I'm never selling. It'll just always be there. Then I have a portion where I'll take profits, and I have a plan. When we hit certain levels, I'm taking X amount of money or X amount of coins and sticking to my plan. But the main thing I wanted to show is like, look how much time this took. Okay, like this is in a bull cycle, and it took a year. And now we're building it. Look, it just built another base. It did the same thing. Do you see what I'm saying?
Doing another cup, I think we call it.
Yeah, quick.
Yeah.
Right there on that chart. Where do you jump back in on it? If you,
well, I mean, it's hard to say. Like if I was here, let's see, get rid of this. This is kind of like what they call like a double. This is almost like a double bottom. Oops, that's bad.
Yeah, look like.
Generally, that's what we do. We make a double bottom and then like a U, and then we take off again. So, oops, what's going on here?
Hey, Vito, be careful.
So, I just want everybody to see the coins. They all do the same thing. They all actually they do the same pattern.
So you think that Omi's going to potentially do something like this, where, or do you think that Omi could do something more impactful than this? So with your technical analysis, does any of the catalysts coming from the company itself, is it involved in this, or is this just strictly off what the charts are doing?
This is strictly off of charts.
Okay.
Now everything that they're doing can be a bonus, but we can't figure that variable in until it's in stone.
Yeah.
That's my point. I believe that they're going to do it. I believe they've pretty much they've done everything they said they're going to do.
Yeah.
The timing's off, but I'm just trying to show the amount of time it could take. You know, it could take a while, and just to be prepared for it. You know, but I'm not saying sell it or anything like that. I'm just saying when you invest and you believe in this project, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I think back then I thought Engine was the best, I thought Theta was the best, and I was right. I think Omi's 10 times better. I think Omi's 10 times better.
So what's
That's
your
I mean, that's
realistic timeline for, like, so do you think that Omi is going to take like 2 years or something, or do you think that it could be a lot sooner?
well, if they time it right, like if we're like, because we're in the still in the bull cycle, and if we are in an extended bull cycle, and we go into next year, and we get an exchange, then we have a chance to do something. But we're not doing anything without an exchange. We're just not. I don't care what anybody says. The big guys are not going to put money in this where they can't get their money back.
Yeah.
And you can't do it on Bitforex. They can't dump like 500 grand or $1 million into something, and they're not going to do it on Bitforex. I can tell you right now. You know, like, I mean, we believe in it because we see it. I see the value in it, and I have no problem holding it. But we really need an exchange. Bad. We need an exchange to get an exchange on perfect timing with this continued bull cycle would be right on time. But as you can see, the price of look, it was 5 cents. Look, it's up here now, $3. So yes, you can get to $10. Can I tell you how long? I don't know. This came in the middle of a bull run. We might have to wait till the next bull run to really get the prices like that. But then, yeah, anything's possible.
So I wanted your also some of your thoughts on the price action that you see coming in a bear market. And but then again, I don't know if because you wouldn't factor in stuff like Omi hitting or VeVe hitting 10 million users with all the utility and 10 million people keeping up the price of Omi. You wouldn't be able to factor that in or consider that at all when it comes down to your prediction of behavior in a bull market, would you? Because I
No.
like that's what I consider would
No.
keep this up in a bear market. I mean, bear.
I don't know if you remember, but from the last bear market, the only coin that I can recall that did well in that bear market, I mean, every coin had its day. It pumped and dumped, it pumped and dumped, whatever. But the only coin that actually performed better than every asset was Chainlink. That was the only coin that did well in the bull market. So it's possible. They did it. So it's possible, but you can't bank on it.
Yeah.
I'm not banking on it. I mean, you can. I mean, it can happen. It's very, very possible. So, well, that's why I'm in this coin. Everything about it's great. They got a lot going on for it, and if people can't see it, I don't know. It's not my problem because it's a good coin. Like besides the coin itself, the whole product and the whole everything is pretty good in my opinion.
Yeah. You gonna say something?
Yeah, maybe. I'm on my Omi chart at the moment, and I'm curious to know what you think about this rising wedge that we see right now. It's going like you show us the cup, and I think going
You
in
want
the
to?
same way that your cup. I can
Yeah,
share my screen. I'm gonna
yeah,
show
yeah.
you. So I'm seeing this rising wedge, which is looking like the cup that you're showing us. That's not the right way to. I mean, you show us a cup looking like that.
Yep.
So this rising wedge, do you think it's gonna be rising right here and falling at like it should in like January or at the end of December? So we might get like you said, one of your entries like 0.36. Do you think it's possible we might fall down to this price before we?
Well, really, you see that's a double top.
Yeah.
We're in the middle of a double top right now. So right where you actually have your cursors, you're actually right where the price could come down to.
Yeah, that's what I thought it would be possible to happen.
Mm-hmm.
If it's going down to this price, I'm gonna buy so much, but
yeah,
it's something that I think people got to keep in perspective. That the price is gonna rise to $1 one day. It's pretty sure, I think, but it might fall. It might fall before it do go to $1.
Right, and that's a lot of percent loss that you might have to stomach. So,
Yeah, you're gonna
but
have to have some guts.
one thing I can say, you only lose when you sell in a loss.
Yeah.
If you got into this, you believe it's going to happen, you got a bad entry, it doesn't matter. First off, we're under a penny.
Yeah.
So just that alone, just to have an opportunity to buy a project that's actually, it just makes me crazy. I can have an opportunity to buy a project like this under a penny. It's like a once in a lifetime thing for me. That's how I look at it. So I'm not too worried about where we go below a penny. I think any prices under a penny is a blessing at this point. If with a long-term perspective, I'm talking like 3 to 5 years, like 2025, 2026.
Yeah,
And
we're on the same wavelength for this. I'm pretty sure about that. That we're under a penny, so it can move
Cavell's doing
the way it
AMR. Do you wanna watch?
wants. Hey, sorry, Epic, but your microphone is up. So, anybody got a question, maybe for Cavell or Gods?
I do.
Oh yeah, go for it.
go for it.
Hey, I really appreciate the information. I told you guys, Harvesting Frog earlier, that I'm super new to investing, so I kind of know what you guys are talking about with like support and resistance and predicting like trend lines and all that other stuff.
I got a question. You hear me?
But I was just
Yeah, just wait a
curious.
second.
Yeah, I was
So
just curious. So what timelines do you usually use? Like I saw you were using the
You said go ahead.
4-hour ones for predicting and looking at it, but how do you guys determine like long trends? Like what makes you be able to draw that long trend line?
I'm gonna let Jay answer first. Maybe I can give my opinion after. And I know there's another one who want to ask a question, but just wait. We're gonna answer this
Here,
one, and you're gonna be next.
let me try to get this other chart up. I want to chart while I explain it here. Is it my Bitcoin chart you see?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
All right. We're going to zoom out. When you hear me zoom out, I mean zoom out as in time. Okay. So yeah, whatever, get rid of this thing here. Okay. See this blue line? This blue line, I just took from this bottom point to the next bottom point. Now I got a trend line. This one, I'm just kind of guessing. It's really hard to know if that's actual trend line right now. So I'm gonna get rid of that. We don't know that's really a trend line yet. I just took this point to that point. But we usually need a couple touches to confirm it's a trend line. More than 2. Usually the rule of thumb is 3. So I believe right now we're coming down to hit this blue trend line. And that's what we're going to find out if we're still in a bear market. I mean, still in a bull market or bear market. The trend is your friend to the end, is what they say. So just because price went so far away from this trend line, it needs to come back for support. So that's why we use trend lines. So, you can keep the gauge where the price wants to come to. So I don't know if that made any sense.
It definitely did. I appreciate that. I see you're on the day. Which is that normally what you go by to see like entries and stuff like that?